What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks, and in today's video I'm going to be starting a new series on this channel that I'm going to call Top Battles of the Week. I know some other content creators have done a concept like this, and I figure it's about time that I start to feature some more people's battles on this channel and kind of create essentially a highlight reel. Every Friday I'm planning on posting one of these videos featuring some of the top battles of the week that I have hand selected, and at the end of the video will be the actual top battle of the week that I have selected. If you would like to submit your footage to me to possibly end up on one of these battles of the week, you can email me at fpsticks@gmail.com, and this will be kind of a fun series that I'm going to try to do once every week. But let's jump right into these battles and see what the community has submitted to me. Alright, this first battle was submitted to me by Lattin, and let's jump right into the gameplay here. These were featured in the Great League, so let's see what matchups are going to play out here. Jellicent into Roserade. Alright, you obviously need to look out for the Grass Knot or potential Leaf Storm if this Roserade is running this move. The Jellicent is running double nukes here. Are we going to get a shield? No shield, and a freaking Leaf Storm just one-shots the Jellicent. Okay, gonna bring out Drifloon, which is a pretty hard wall, but the opponent switches out into Sableye. Gonna have to chip this with an Icy Wind. Are you gonna be able to get a shield here? Oh my gosh, the Sableye no shields. Opponent still has 2 shields. Gonna bring in the Diggersby, which is a pretty solid response to this Sableye. These foul plays are gonna be hitting for neutral. The Shadow Claws are double resisted. Diggersby is insanely bulky, as we know. Gonna be hitting for neutral damage with these mud shots. Out comes another foul play. This is also a best buddy Diggersby. Very thick bunny. Going to throw the Earthquake there. Down goes the Sableye. Out comes the Roserade again. We know this thing is packing Leaf Storm because it one-shotted the Jellicent in the lead. Gonna shield this up. It's just a Weather Ball bait, unfortunately. Gonna throw this Fire Punch. This will be hitting for super effective damage on the Roserade. But the Roserade barely survives it and is able to get to another move before the Diggersby can mud shot this down. Do you commit the second shield here? Oh my gosh. Calls the Weather Ball. Mud shots it down. What is in the back? It's their own Jellicent in the back, but Diggersby has an Earthquake loaded. Oh my gosh. The opponent still has 2 shields. Going to go for an Icy Wind bait here after building up to the Shadow Ball energy. Oh man. Okay, calls the Shadow Ball. The opposing Jellicent does not Bubble Beam bait, or maybe they're not running Bubble Beam. But these hexes are really adding up on the Drifloon here. Oh my gosh, gets the double bait. Shields are down, needs to get to the Shadow Ball, but barely not able to get there. The Diggersby has loaded energy, but has very minimal health. Shadow Ball takes it out. Here comes the Earthquake. This Diggersby is barely alive. Every bubble matters here. Hits the Excellent. Jellicent barely survives and able to mud shot it down with the Diggersby. Very nice play there, Lattin. This next battle was submitted to me by Norris JT791. Let's jump right into this game here. Jellicent lead into Ninetales. Alright, is this Charm or is it Powder Snow? This is Charm, and also Norris was running Bubble on his Jellicent. This is a Pachirisu. Has anyone ever seen a Pachirisu in Go Battle League? I have not. It looks like this thing is running Volt Switch as the fast move and has Thunder Punch and Thunderbolt as the charge moves there. I believe this thing also learns Thunder as a charge move, but running Thunderbolt on it here. And the opponent matches with the Sableye. Can Pachirisu take this matchup? Pachirisu is a pure electric type that really has no coverage moves with the charge moves. Only going to be able to dish out electric damage. But it's actually fairly bulky. Shields up a return. Oh my gosh. And able to farm down the Sableye and win swap. But out comes that Charm Ninetales again. This is going to be a problem. And if I saw this correctly, there is a shiny Chansey sitting in the back of Norris's team. Going to store energy and then give up swap. Oh man. But the opponent catches a Bubble Beam on their own Jellicent. So no shield goes through. Both Jellies are running Bubble here, so hitting for resisted damage. Norris is trying to go immediately for the Bubble Beam once again. Because of that Bubble Beam debuff, that Shadow Ball did not KO. It's going to be very difficult for the opponent's Jellicent to farm down this Jellicent. Shields up the Bubble Beam! Commit to the Shadow Ball, trying to get there, but loses CMP. This is not great. Still has a full health Chansey in the back though. The pounds are going to be resisted. I'm assuming the Chansey is running pound, but because of all this loaded energy on this little electric squirrel, we're going to fire off the Thunderbolt. It does not even knock it out. Out comes the Ninetales again. Chansey is literally going to go to Pound Town here. Pounds on this Alolan Ninetales. Weather Ball does nothing. This is a very bulky, very shiny, kind of sick looking Chansey here, but just going to continue pounding away at this Ninetales and is running Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Beam. Only nukes on this Chansey, folks, especially in an endgame scenario like this where shields are down. Do you farm this all the way down? The opponent still has the Jellicent alive, farms down the Ninetales with Chansey, and then goes for the double resisted Hyper Beam BM. You love to see it. Down goes the Jellicent. Nice. Very good game there, Norris. This next battle was submitted to me by Jolt019, and this battle is actually up against Rise to Occasion, which is another talented content creator on YouTube and Twitch. This battle was actually featured in a Sylph Prismatic Cup, so some of the Pokemon that you will see here might be a little bit more unusual from what you might see in Go Battle League. Talonflame into Hypno. This is a fairly neutral matchup. Most likely the opponent's Hypno is running Thunder Punch, which is definitely something that you need to watch out for there. Going to go for a Flame Charge here, potentially gets a shield. Alright, the opponent did think that it was potentially a Brave Bird, so does successfully get the shield. No shields. Oh man, it's just an Ice Punch, so there's almost no way that the Hypno is running Thunder Punch, otherwise it would have been revealed right there and taken out the Talonflame. That's a pretty bold call by Jolt to no shield that. Gonna take the shield advantage, let the Talonflame go down. Out comes the Snorlax. We don't know what that second move is on the Hypno yet. Is it Focus Blast? That'd be pretty wild. But down goes the Hypno. 2 shields for the Snorlax and then the Alolan Raichu. Out comes Talonflame. The timing of the moves here is very important, and as you can see, Jolt is doing as much lick damage as possible before queuing up that Body Slam to not allow the opponent to get an entire Incinerate through. No shields on the Flame Charge, and it's a Gliscor in the back. Gliscor is going to be single resisting this electric type damage, going to be hitting for resisted damage with those wing attacks. But the Night Slashes are going to be hitting for super effective. Gets an extra Volt Switch through. And this Alolan Raichu is running Grass Knot and Wild Charge. Gonna have to shield this, and it looked like was trying to click on the Wild Charge. It's very tough to try to farm down this Gliscor here, but gonna commit to Wild Charge. I doubt the opponent shields. They do shield, and this was actually a CMP tie. The defense has been dropped. Night Slash takes out the Raichu. Out comes the Snorlax, barely able to get to this Body Slam. Is this enough to take out the Talonflame? Barely not enough, but one lick does it, and then one more lick does it on the Gliscor, able to win that game. Very good game there, Jolt. This next battle has been submitted by KD for Life 7. Let's jump right into the gameplay here. Mew into G-Fisk. Let's see what the moveset is on this Mew. They are running Shadow Claw as a fast move and Surf and Wild Charge. Pretty typical moveset on Mews in the lead. The opponent is going to bluff Earthquake Energy here, and actually big shield on the Mew's part. Very nice. Oh, but they catch on their Venusaur. Nice catch by the opponent there. Surf is going to be hitting for resisted damage. Doesn't necessarily have a hard counter to a Venusaur with this particular line. Has Pelipper and their own Venusaur in the back, so has to mirror here. But one Sludge Bomb is not going to be enough to take out this Venusaur. It's going to be very close. This is definitely an awkward health range for the Venusaur, and loses CMP. Has to go down 2 shields very early on in this game. That is not ideal. Gonna go for a Frenzy Plant bait here. Does the opponent shield? No! Everything is going wrong for KD right now. The opponent is playing very well, calling all the bluffs. Just gonna go for another Frenzy. The opponent does want to shield this to try to get rid of this Venusaur here. But able to get to this Frenzy Plant here. Looks like the opponent was over farming. Do you get the second shield back? No, they let it go. Out comes a Pelipper. And then out comes the Mew to throw this wild charge, but it gets caught on the G-Fisk. Everything is going wrong here. This is a double resisted wild charge that lands on the G-Fisk, not good. And now the Mew's defense has been dropped. Going to throw these Surfs to start chipping away. Gets the final shield from the Stunfisk. Surf would probably barely not be enough to KO this G-Fisk at this range. Rock Slide is going to do enough to the Mew because of the defense drop. You bring out the Pelipper here, maybe try to make a catch on the Venusaur, but the Switch Clock is not up. Gonna have to get hit by a Rock Slide here, not ideal. Oh man, Pelipper is gonna win CMP. The opponent tries to catch there again, but the opponent actually panics and goes for Weather Ball chip damage here. This is not gonna be enough to take out the Pelipper. Building up, gonna land this Hurricane. This should be just enough to take out the Pelipper, but needs to get to this Weather Ball on the G-Fisk. Not able to get there, one wing attack short. Now this Venusaur has to get to a Frenzy before the G-Fisk can get to a Rock Slide, and barely able to get this. Venusaur wins CMP, and despite the opponent catching all those moves, Katie is able to take this matchup. Thank you very much for submitting that gameplay. Next battle has been submitted by Ferreira2469. I might have butchered that name, I apologize, but let's jump right into the gameplay here. Meganium lead into Superior. Battle of the bulky grass types here. So if the opponent is running Aerial Ace, this is favorable for the Superior, but they actually give up Swap immediately and switch into an Air Slash Mandibuzz. Ferreira is going to swap into the Politoed here, which is running Blizzard. The opponent goes for Aerial Ace there. Gonna go for a Weather Ball bait here, but does build up to the Blizzard energy. Gets a shield. Because this Mandibuzz is running Air Slash, it's not able to generate energy nearly as quickly as if it were running Snarl. Gonna go for the Blizzard here on the second move. No way the Mandibuzz double shields, right? Man, that is kind of crazy. Mandibuzz is very bulky and would actually be able to survive Blizzard from that health range. But the opponent really wants to take out this Politoed. Going to double shield here. Out comes Hypno, stores the energy, and switches into Meganium to throw the Frenzy Plants here. Now because Meganium already has this loaded energy, can you get to this Frenzy before the Hypno gets to a move? Able to get there. Hypno is going to go down. There are no shields remaining on the opponent's side. What is going to come out? Does the Superior come back in, or is it Mandibuzz? Most likely Mandibuzz, because it's still very, very healthy, and Air Slashes are going to be able to farm down this Meganium. Keep in mind that Politoed still has a lot of energy stored, but the opponent still has essentially a full health Superior to deal with, and this Mandibuzz is just farming up a storm. Gonna have so much stored energy coming out of this matchup. Farms all the way down. That is not good. Okay, going to continue to store the energy on the Politoed and potentially try to get a Blizzard nuke off onto the Superior. Vigoroth gets a counter through in between the charge moves. That's pretty great. Needs to land a Body Slam on this. The opponent makes the swap and able to get this Blizzard off onto the Superior. Is this enough? Survives with a sliver of health. Okay, going to take out the Politoed, but this provides farm for Vigoroth. The Superior didn't even have Aerial Ace anyways. And then barely able to get to this Body Slam. Is this enough? The opponent just got in a free Air Slash as well. Barely enough to take out the Mandibuzz. Very good game. This next battle was submitted to me by one of my friends and patrons, Jonathan Kelly. Let's jump into it. Shiftry into Charm Ninetales. Jonathan is also a content creator on Twitch, by the way. Make sure to check him out. Charm Ninetales, that is not good for the Shiftry at all. Going to switch into Cresselia here, running Future Sight and Moonblast as the moveset. Gonna no-shield this first one, just a Weather Ball. Cresselia can easily tank it. But now the opponent switches into a Defense Deoxys. Gonna have to chip this with some Moonblast here. Deoxys is very bulky, and this Cresselia is low enough in health range where Deoxys can potentially land a move and then farm down. Gonna no-shield the Rock Slide. I think if the Deoxys tries to commit to the counter down here, Cresselia potentially will get to a third Moonblast, which will be able to take out the Deoxys. Okay, a little bit of stutter lag there, but the opponent does end up committing some energy. It's a Psycho Boost, so they just drop their attack. Gonna bring out the Shift Tree here. Gonna try to go for a farm down on this Deoxys. Gonna shield once, most likely gonna be a Rock Slide, so a good shield here. And Shift Tree with loaded energy is gonna be very powerful. Most likely that Ninetales is gonna come out again. This Leaf Blade will be hitting for neutral damage. The Charm does go through, but able to switch right there and transfer the Charm damage onto the Deoxys. In the back is a Politoed. 2 shields are still up on the opponent's side. This is not ideal. This Politoed is definitely just going to go straight Weather Ball spam here. This is a tough scenario because if you go for a Psycho Boost bait, you drop your attack, which is never ideal, but you do save a lot of energy. So going to build almost to 100 energy and actually go for the Psycho Boost here. The opponent has to respect this. They have 2 shields, able to get 1 shield here, and now going to go for the Thunderbolt. This will hit for super effective damage, even though the attack has been dropped. The Thunderbolt connects. The Politoed does not commit to the farm down against the Deoxys. Gonna let this go. Shift Tree has a lot of loaded energy still. Out comes that Ninetales again. It looks like Shift Tree potentially has back-to-back Leaf Blades stored right here. Gonna throw one, gets a shield. Oh my gosh, 1 charm goes through and another charm is actually registering now if this Leaf Blade does not KO. Leaf Blade is just enough to take out the Ninetales. Out comes the Politoed once again and barely able to get to this Leaf Blade before the Politoed is able to get there. Very good game. This next battle has been submitted to me by Udupaaditya. I might have butchered that name as well, I apologize. But we have Chestnut into Abomasnow. Not super great because the Abomasnow is going to be hitting for super effective damage against the Chestnut there. Going to use Umbreon as the safe swap here, and the opponent is choosing to stay in against this Umbreon. Out comes Lantern. This is a Water Gun Lantern, so it makes sense that the opponent wants this to avoid the Chestnut. However, if you lose this matchup, you can set your Chestnut up for a pretty nice Vine Whip farm down on this Lantern and rip off some superpowers onto the Abomasnow, so we'll have to see how this is going to play out. Umbreon is continuing to chip away with foul plays on this Lantern, and Water Gun Lantern takes a long time to get to these charge moves, folks. If it is a Spark Lantern, the energy generation is much better, but as you can see, Umbreon is potentially going to try to fight for Switch here. Having an Alolan Marowak in the back is going to hard counter that Abomasnow very nicely, and the opponent throws energy immediately, forces the CMP tie, does not want to get hit by any more energy, but able to win back Switch. It's a Diggersby that's going to come out, so these Vine Whips are going to be hitting for super effective. The Mud Shots are resisted, but these Fire Punches are going to be hitting for super effective, and it's really going to add up. Both Superpower and Energy Ball will be hitting for super effective, but Superpower, as we know, drops the attack and the defense of the user. So going to get 1 shield there, farming up a little bit more. Gonna throw another Superpower here. That gets shielded as well. Able to get to a final Superpower. The opponent is trying to Mud Shot down this Chestnut because of the drop defense, and they actually snipe it down with the Abomasnow. But now the Alolan Marowak is going to get some really nice farm against this Abomasnow. Goes for the Energy Ball, no defense drop, still has a shield. Out comes the Diggersby, going to go for this Bone Club here. And is just enough to take out that Diggersby. Able to come back from a pretty tough lead. Very nice battle. And here it is, folks. This is the top battle of the week. It has been submitted to me by Ace D Kid. So let's jump right into it. Quillfish lead into Hypno. Not good at all. The Confusions are going to be hitting for super effective damage. Brings out a Shadow Ninetales and is hard punished by a Jellicent. This is not good at all. The Shadow Ninetales is running Psyshock, so is at least going to be able to hit for some neutral damage. No shields, a Bubble Beam. Really nice call. Gonna go for the Psyshock here, but once you reveal the Psyshock, this Jellicent is gonna know that there is no Solar Beam to be afraid of. CMP tie. And going to no shield this Bubble Beam once again. But this is really, really tough, and Ace D Kid is running a very interesting team. Has a Alolan Muck in the back. This Jellicent is going to be able to Hex the Ninetales all the way down. Very, very bad spot to be in. Out comes the Alolan Muck. We've already seen Bubble Beam on the Jellicent, so going to continue to no shield and commit to this farm down. All of this Bubble Beam damage is doing is just allowing the Alolan Muck to farm even more because it's dropping the attack. able to build up to a lot of energy here, still has a Hypno to worry about. Out comes Medicham, that's a very solid response to the Alolan Muck, and now this Quillfish is going to be hard punished by the Hypno. But HD Kid is recognizing that the opponent is going to think that Medicham is their win condition, so goes for the heavy hitting move of Sludge Wave, and it gets no shielded, and Quillfish is actually able to take out the Hypno. Really nice read by Ace, and able to get some chip damage with this Aqua Tails here. The Medicham does commit a shield there. The Alolan Muck is heavily loaded on energy and has 2 shields. Going to go for a Dark Pulse shield bait here. Dark Pulse would not be enough to knock out this Medicham. It is going to hit for neutral. Sludge Wave is going to hit for neutral as well. This is a pretty loaded Medicham. And it looks like they are in fact running Ice Punch and Psychic, not Power Up Punch. Has to shield up this second Ice Punch. Really needs to get to this Sludge Wave. Gonna go for the Sludge Wave. Is this enough to take out the Medicham? Is this enough to take it out? It's not enough. Needs to snarl it down, and able to come back from being very hard countered in the lead and hard countered on the swap. Really nice energy management and recognition of where the opponent is going to commit their shields. Thank you so much, HD Kid, for submitting this footage, and congrats on having the top battle of the week. If you all enjoyed this content and enjoyed this new series, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.